And we're live. Having a little discussion before the channel. So we have everyone here from last time. But anyways, so we were just talking a little bit about time and the creation of time and wondering about what questions to ask during the channel part and kind of getting loosening up a little bit. So sorry, Marianne, I had cut you off. You're talking about multidimensional perceptions and layers of consciousness interacting with specific groups of beings that have qualities they identified.
Yeah, yeah. I've been working like what happened last week that you were able to channel the Horus Collective. Deborah from Glammy Witch and I have been working with them for about 6 months. And what we've been doing without really our knowing until now you see the bigger picture, which is really difficult to work that way. We keep getting bits of information like layers. We talk about layers. Everything to me seems that they give it to you in bits and pieces so that you create your foundations. You put certain pieces into play. For instance, first layer is ourselves, you know, Glammy, our energies, Glammy Witch, myself, and I have a third friend that works with us very closely. The second layer are additional energies from other beings that we either know or even don't know but know that they exist, such as our twin flames. So we work with twin flame energies, whether we know who they are or not. Another layer is working with elementals, bringing in, we were told in separate opportunities of what we had as protection, each one of us. One is Helios, one is a dragon, one is actually a kraken. So we're talking very primal earth core energies. Yeah, and then there's different layers, layers of light, pillars of light, where I see each of us as a different color light. And at the very end, I bring in sound. So it depends on, I've been drawn very much to Lakota, Indian, Native American Indian music. For some reason, the Lakota really speaks to me. So I know that I have past lives, you know, I've seen that I've had past lives as Lakota. I have an Indian guide that relates to it. So all of these things, it's once you have the concepts in your mind, it just kind of melds together. But to explain it separately, I know I may not be doing the best job, but it's things that you kind of learn on the way and build upon it. Learn and build, learn and build. And that's the way I've been able to constantly work with these energies. It's a process of practice. It's a process of being open to receiving the energies. What we did when ISON came through on November 28th, that is when, for me, the portal actually opened, and we had star seeds come through and speak to us. I thought it was going for me to go to someplace, and actually what happened first was they came in. And so, but yesterday, and after you spoke with the Horus Collective, I was actually able to go through the portal myself. I took myself in my own pyramid, I created it, and we were talking about chakras, the 12 chakras. I do a rainbow healing, and I had been just working with the 7 chakras. I've known of the 12 chakras for many years, but to make it simplistic and easier for people to understand, I went once. But now is the time to go to 12. We're at the dimension of working 12 months and working on 12 dimensions. So in the pyramid, what was created was a pranic tube, basically, of light. And that pranic tube, actually, the energies came from deep in the core of Mother Earth and shot upwards through the top of the pyramid, through actually a blue quartz crystal. Now, I know that Joshua Shapiro, who owns Portal de Luz, looked for the blue crystal skull in Peru and did not find it. but for some reason I have been working with its energies for a while. So one of the things I wanted to see if we could talk about today in conjunction with all of this is crystal skull energy and how it ties into star seeds and all of our workings here of what we're doing, working with portals and gateways and time, space continuum. So when this energy came up through the bottom of the pyramid, I basically took a leap of faith and just stepped out into it. And when I did that, I was held and sustained within the light that was coming up, within that energy. It's not that I fell down. I just stepped out into it and maintained myself there. And then that is when the complete alignment, like whole body was in the pranic tube and all of my chakras completely aligned, and I was able to garner that energy to be able to send it out in creating this layer, which was what was discussed last week with the Orion Council, creating this layer of a new energy and new consciousness, or maybe just adapting the one that's already there. I'm just, sometimes there's no words. My words don't explain what the experience
I think
is.
you're doing really
But
really
I think
good.
that somewhere, and maybe there's others that now can come through to talk about time continuum.
Definitely. Before you
But
continue,
maybe that's somehow tied in with this time continuum and how to mold it to yourself.
Can Anna, welcome Anna and Kenya, can you adjust your bandwidth so, because Marianne was getting a little bit cut off again, it's just Thomas taught us there's a little button that looks like a sound volume, and next to the camera button on the top middle, if you just hover over with your mouse, it says adjust bandwidth usage, and we've all moved ours to low, from high to low.
This is my first time in here, so it's going to take a second. Can you tell me again where I should be looking?
It should be in the middle of the screen when you hover your mouse up towards the search bar. It should pop up where you have like a mute microphone icon, a camera icon, a people invite icon.
I don't have people invite. I have. Oh yeah, there we go. Mm-hmm.
You see it?
Yep. It looked like volume to me.
Right. It looks like that. So we just moved it over a bar to the left, and I'm not sure if Kenya is going to show up on the camera.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you? Can you adjust your bandwidth usage?
I did it to the low.
Oh, okay, great. All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Did mine work?
I think it should.
Yes.
It's good. It's just everyone. As long as we hear everyone, to hear the questions and comments, sometimes it drops. If it drops, you just log back in, and then of course during the live part, we'll all mute our microphones and go one at a time and turn our microphones on so everyone gets to ask one question. So anyway, Marianne, were you finished with the download?
Yes, I think that was pretty much, just giving you options and just pieces of information.
I resonated hugely with what you said.
Spur you with your own expansion.
What you're saying, I resonate with it hugely. So thank you for sharing that, because I feel like everybody's talking about the same thing, which is bringing this grid, the heaven and earth, like locking the keys together, so we pull the dimensions into the right time-space continuum. Because there's a storyline that the star seeds have created where we see the good future. So the key right now is to create our own collective so that we pull it through.
There you go. I agree. Yes. I think that's what the word.
There's a wind blowing somewhere. Before we go live, could we just do a panel, everyone, just a brief introduction or a hello, a greeting, a message to everyone, one at a time, starting with Marianne. Can we just go, I believe it's left to right, so Marianne and then Anna, and please, thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm Mary Moore from Akashic Inspirations, and I just want to wish everyone, I hope that you can take advantage of the energies that are coming in now at the beginning of the new year to really, really focus your intention, really set your mind for what you want. And we can create quickly and easily if you really just focus, and that's my thought for the new year. So I wish everyone many blessings, and thanking Krista for this wonderful opportunity to share with all of you.
Hi, my name is Anna. I was going to say a little bit about who I am, because I think that kind of it represents what I'm doing. I had the opportunity to live my teenage years in Japan, and being in Japan, I became very, very physically ill. I was asthmatic, and I had a whole bunch of complications the entire time. But what I know now is, as I've healed that, is that I was absorbing all of the energy from the lifetimes that I had previously had in Japan. So I'm still in the process of completely understanding what it means to heal the body. But I heard you speaking for a second, Marianne, about previous lives, and so this mission for me was about continuing to heal that, the polarity at the karmic level. So that's what I had to say. Thank you.
Where's the sound? The sound is gone.
Oh, I'm sorry for the interruption. Please continue, Anna.
Oh, I was done. That was it. I mean, I can keep talking if you want me to. Do I mute my line?
Okay, Deborah? I'm not hearing anything. Is everyone else hearing something?
I'm not hearing anything either. I guess maybe I should say a little more. Okay, so what I learned in Japan in the lives that I absorbed was the lifetimes when I did Kung Fu, the lifetimes when I was an energy master. And I feel like I moved into a new phase of life, and what I'm doing is I'm inviting the master in. And for me, this trip to Orion was really a continuation of finding a way to submit and obey and communicate and negotiate with the master, the master self from other spaces and time. So it's like we have these little energetic boxes that are available to us, and it was a painful thing that I had to go through physically with the asthma and the complications, but it was because I was absorbing so much energy from so many lifetimes, and so it's kind of like learning to see the good and the bad. The energy master is the part that I'm learning to accept and receive and use. So I work with crystals. I'm a Reiki master. Recently got my hypnotherapy license because I did a lot of healing work with hypnotherapy. And I have a friend who getting ready to launch a business with in 2014 selling manifestation toolkits that will teach young people the basics. Like it'll be a complete kit, so they just get this little thing, and then it's they can begin their magical process. So, all right,
It's awesome.
now I'm done.
I just want to tell everyone you've had some incredible, just as Thomas said, incredible downloads that you've been sharing in the Facebook group. So I encourage everyone watching on YouTube to visit our Mission to Orion, specifically see these downloads by Anna and Thomas. And I just want to say I felt like I was going into a slight hypnotic trance while you were talking. So I just could sense the energy, and I'm not exactly sure what you're doing, but I think today will be very interesting when it's your turn for the channel. So thank you for coming.
I have completely tapped into my Egyptian timelines. The dream that I shared in the group about the crocodile pool test came from there, and that bit for me is super important right now because Isis is rising. She's rising. This new part is coming from the inside of our planet, like what you were talking about, Marianne. And then this galactic light, this is the seed, and this is the female, and this is the male that's coming together. We're talking about ourselves as star seed. What we're doing is we're bringing corrected masculine. So when it connects through the portal, this pranic tube, then the conception is in process of happening now. Like it's already happened in a space in time, but we're inside of time, so we see it as this linear event. But what we're doing as Starseed Group is we're opening this portal to the good future that we're pulling through, and we're literally magnetizing positive and negative energy by pulling this light into our inner darkness, So
it's very powerful when you speak. So I really hope you have a YouTube channel coming up soon or something, because
I started a YouTube channel. I started about 4 months ago. It was like, okay, I've made the channel like 6 years ago. And I just finally was like, okay, I hear you. Yes, okay, I will speak. So it's been everything that I have right now is it's long videos, and it's a little bit to listen to, but it's me just kind of talking through the talk track and finding and Mission to Orion has just I'm telling you this what I'm doing right now in my room, because my bed I've got, these are my little crystals. I've got 4 crystals that are like this size that are at the corner of my bed, and then underneath I have chakra colored spheres that are running up in the right order, so that when I lay in my bed I'm getting that. And then on the posts I've got crystal necklaces, that are so the whole bed, I was designing this spaceship before I knew about Mission to Orion. So my whole room basically, I'm in my spaceship right now. This is my spaceship. So I've got my Isis, my altar up here is Isis, and the male aspect on the other side with Angel Gabriel and all that. But I've got my mirror work. You can kind of see here in the back. I've got a mirror on this side and then a mirror over there, so that I stand and I'm pushing, so.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. I think we gotta continue because I'm already going. So great. Okay. I love your room. I love your room, girlfriend. Keep it up. Thank you so much for being so open with us. We all appreciate that very much. So yes, let's. Time is of the essence. Let's slow down. Time, please slow down for us, so everyone can get a turn. Deborah, does your microphone work, please? 1 second, she says. I can't hear you. Oh. Wow, I cannot. I hear background noise. It's okay. Are you all right? Okay. All right. Well, let's hope for a miracle. Kenya, are you available for chatting? I'm not sure if she's at the computer. Can you hear us, Kenya? Testing, testing.
Yeah. Hello?
Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey. Hi.
Hey.
Yeah,
Hi.
this is Kenya. And I've been feeling like amazing, abundant, positive energies coming in. And I feel like I'm breaking out of that old karmic loop and expanding myself, higher frequencies. And I'm just excited for 2014. Yeah. And
Nice.
in 20 minutes, I'll be leaving to go get a tattoo.
Wow.
Of
So,
what? What are you getting a tattoo of?
the symbol right here, like right on my chest, right on my neck and my chest.
Ooh. That's gonna be powerful. You sure you can handle that?
Yeah.
She can take the energy. I can see
I
you
need the
going,
energy.
yeah, I can handle it.
Yeah, it'll hurt so good.
Well, let's hope it comes out just the way you like
Yeah, I'll
it.
be putting
And
pictures on my Facebook.
awesome. Yeah, everyone check it out. Kenya does lots of posts. She keeps everyone updated on
Lots of
information and
posts.
fun beauty stuff like starseed looks and like tribal wear and all this kind of inspirational stuff. So everyone connects on Facebook. If we don't get to your question, Kenya, which I hope we do, let's see, maybe I could change it up a little bit. Could we maybe start with you for the channel so you could ask a question? Or do you not?
Huh? Let's see. I haven't even thought of a question.
You could do it. Well, let's
We'll keep it open-ended. And is there any answers that need to be told?
Okay. All right. So that's fine. Why don't we let's see. Let's get to Thomas first, and I'll see what we do. So thanks, Kenya.
Okay.
All right. Let's.
Okay, you go first.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Margarita. I thoroughly enjoy your conversations about channeling and just love learning new stuff. If I have any experience, and I think I have, I never notice them or don't remember them if they happen during my sleep. And something which I noticed is everything happens it seems to me very easily, like, well, yeah, it's as if it's natural. So maybe in that sense, even if something happens, I don't think it's something extraordinary, so I can't say anything on the subject. But we talk a lot with Tom, and that's in these talks I actually notice more than when I'm on my own. So I'll hand it over to you then.
I recently realized I've been on a path of self-discovery for almost 30 years, going through different paths. But the most interesting thing is I was doing some interesting channeling only for myself, and I realized that maybe it's time to go out of the spiritual closet and start creating some channels in YouTube, probably, or start writing about it. But I'm very, very glad I took part of this class, because it opened so many opportunities and made me aware about parts of myself which I wasn't aware before. So my deep appreciation and gratitude for Krista for organizing this amazing class. Thank you.
So I just want to say Thomas is a very humble guy, and he has been channeling himself because now he's out of the closet. So world, he is channeling spirit. And I feel this is great confirmation because just the way I do it, of course, can be very different. There's many different kinds of channeling, and I want to share a bit about that. But first, I want to two things. I wanted to ask maybe since Kenya had an open-ended question or wasn't sure or has to go, maybe Kenya, you could type in your question into the chat, and if this isn't too difficult, maybe Anna, after your question was answered, I think we should start how we originally were. So Marianne, Anna, then Deborah, or Marianne asking Deborah's question, then Kenya, and then if Kenya maybe types, okay, she says sure. So Anna, there's a group chat on the side, and I figured if Kenya leaves before her question gets answered, maybe you could just check the chat, because I'm going to have my eyes closed. If she doesn't get it, maybe Thomas, you could remember to just check before your question, to check the chat, please. So that would be great. And then if everyone could please get a glass of water, if you don't have it now would be the good time. It's really good to have. They always ask for that. So, or use the bathroom really quickly, because this gets very exciting. So, and then we'll start. So, be right back.
Wait, switch. No, I'm going to close it. I'm not going to do that.
Robert, can you hear me? Hello?
I could hear you, Anna.
Okay. I wanted to tell Robert that I feel like I've come out of the closet too.
Thomas.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say?
Robert.
Sorry. No wonder.
Robert in the class, so you may have been picking up on him.
Calling Robert.
He's in the class. He's probably watching now.
Yes, you were saying?
Sorry about that, Thomas.
That's okay.
Oh, I feel like I'm coming out of the closet too. Like I feel like, I've been practicing Wicca and, spell work like voodoo and, Celtic magic and, stuff that I learned in different places like Mexico and stuff, Philippines. So I feel like I've come out of a closet too by starting to like vocalize, and I've been doing this probably, I would say my focus has been also, the past like 15 years, so.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for encouragement.
I just want to say, as I look back on the video, it's like, oh, Krista is so stern, I'm not my normal chit-chatty self. I just want to say, because we set the intention for Spirit to come at 11:11 a.m., and I want to say Spirit came at 11:11 a.m., and Spirit has been here and wants to talk to all of you, and I'm like the antenna, as we all are antennas, so it's kind of difficult sometimes for me because I'm in between both listening and preparing. So that's why it's not an average. This is not an average conversation. This is not we're having lattes at Starbucks on our Apple computers talking about life. It's a little bit different, I feel, and we're picking up on a lot of stuff. And I want to thank you all because you showed up today. I just want to thank you for showing up, because you're showing up for yourself, and that inspires other people to show up for themselves, like you said, Anna. So it's really beautiful, and the more we do this, the more we tilt the whole circle of this local universe, really. So how's everybody doing? Are there any last minute burning questions or things before we channel Orion Council and other benevolent beings?
Yeah, I just want to say you're awesome. You're awesome. And thanks.
Thank you. I agree. I agree. Thank you, Krista, for the compliment. It's awesome.
Thank you. Oh, you guys, I'm gonna cry. Don't no cry. Okay. No woman, no cry. So, quickly, as promised, for those who are wanting to channel this, I reordered this book for like $2. That's Arcturus Rock. He's here. Open to channel with Sanaya Roman, and she channels Orion and Deben, and it talks about how to differentiate between a good guide and then a not so intelligent guide. And there's a lot of information from the sphere beings on channeling in here, and it talks about what to expect on the first time that you channel. So just briefly want to share some main points, just 4 of them. The first is that guides enter your aura so gently that you may doubt their presence. And that's usually just a feeling, like a golden light that comes in, or a sort of a peaceful serenity, the Zen feeling, and or some may experience a gentle wave or like a brush on your skin, like a cloud. The temperature may change like this. And they're basically making you aware that they're there in a gentle way so you can identify them. So as we progress with our channels, the guides can change, the symbols and the way they communicate will change. Right now I'm learning to interpret symbols, visual symbols, so I can do it faster. Also, this takes focus and concentration, and emptying your mind is one of the fastest ways you can get knowledge. Sometimes we think we lose our connection or connection is fuzzy, or you can't grasp the words, and that's the analyzer part of the brain, the logic part that kicks in. When we say you're mentalizing it too much, that often blocks the inspirational message that wants to come through. And when you do let the message through, you'll feel this sense of awareness and well-being. And high-level guides, they will give you knowledge about reality. They're scientific guides. They're ones that are sort of for healing energy, like angelics. And there are many different sorts of information. If they don't have it, they'll often go to another spirit being that does have the information, and they work with your vocabulary and your sets of concepts that you have. So that's why channels are historians, channels are anthropologists, channels are psychologists. We're all of these things. And finally, number 4 is you can channel far more easily than you expected. And I think Thomas was just saying this. So, if a channel is talking cryptically and it doesn't make sense, it might not be that high-level guide. And I like to think that some of the highest guides are very, very simple and inspire us to live good lives. So, if you're ever confused, you just take a step back, connect to your higher self, and say, was that good for me or useful, and so on. And I just really want to, the energy of this feels so loving. I really love this book, and I hope you all benefit from this. And the other thing I wanted to share, not to scare anyone, but I was doing a live presentation online with some friends, And basically, you know, at the end of the transmission, we would speak this light language. And some call it speaking in tongues. Some say it's direct your communication with God. And I didn't do a prayer before. When I started channeling, my mom was like, let's do a prayer, please. And I was like, I don't need a prayer. It's my intent that matters, right? So when I did this live thing, it was my turn to do light language. And I was nervous. I didn't understand it. A lot was going on in my head at the time. I wasn't very clear. And I didn't pray. I didn't set the energy first, which is so important. And the channel said something upsetting in it. It wasn't my light language. It was like an energy came in, and it said something very upsetting. And to me, I experienced that as a jumper or an astral ghost or being that wasn't very intelligent, and because it didn't say anything intelligent. So basically, this can happen if you allow someone to touch you. Like, don't let anyone touch you or your head. Even the Catholic Church teaches that. Don't let other people touch your crown chakra. Because a guy did that to me, and I had a jumper come in, and it felt like it was on my neck, and it did not feel good. High-level guides are never manipulative. They should bring about an aura of peace. So anyway, there's a lot of different types of beings out there, but nobody can take full control or possess your body unless you allow them on some level. And I just want to say that before we begin, and which is why I like to say, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tsabaoth, holy, holy, holy is the Lord God of hosts. And I request the most benevolent outcome for this channeling session. May it exceed all expectations, and may the information that come in be for the highest good of all here. Thank you, and so it is. And finally, just want to say it's been a great mission. After these sorts of classes and things, we have synchronicities, such as people just giving us information that we might need. A friend of mine said that every 6 months or so, back in Egypt, probably a couple thousand years ago, that some of us came in as mentors, you know, on ships, and we would teach the people for their evolution. And over time, she had this memory that there was some kind of corruption, like we didn't come back for 2,000 years, which seemed like a very short time for us, from those of us who came, and it seemed like a long time on Earth. And they were in corruption and were like shooting lasers and guns and things when the family members came back, expecting like a welcome committee. She just had this memory from Egypt that we came. A lot of us came from Orion, and she was wondering, why is Orion so important? And her guides told her that Orion is like a stop sign. Her name's Karis Melina Brown on YouTube. Many of you know her. And that Orion is like the stop sign right before you have to turn on to the next street, on highway patrol. So a lot of us would come through there from other systems and through the stargates. So I just wanted to share that. And so be gentle with yourselves. Know that everything is okay when we do this stuff. This is a safe environment. There are only high-level beings coming through today, and they want to treat you all with the utmost respect. So if you feel nervous, they see that and they feel that, and they want you to feel your highest potential in that moment. So if you feel nervous, it's okay. You don't have to do anything that doesn't feel good for you. But just know that everything today is going to be perfect, just as it was supposed to happen. And it was really a pleasure creating these video series with you. And a lot of the knowledge doesn't come through if you don't show up. So thanks for showing up for yourselves. And on that note, I'll say hello to Orion Council. And so it is. And of course, we're going to start with Marianne, right? So Marianne, then we go to Anna. Then Marianne asks Deborah's question. And then Kenya either ask for herself, or Anna or Thomas can ask for Kenya if she has to go, and then Thomas and Margarita, and then the whole thing over again if there's still time. So one person per everyone, and then this is for an hour, about an hour, which it's usually 45 minutes in channeling time. So after about 45 minutes, you know that it's going to end. And they usually have this under control. My eyes are closed, so we'll see how accurate they are. Okay. Okay, Marianne, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So it is, Orion Council here. All of us are wanting to communicate. Hold on, please. So it is, we have resonance with all of the questions that are wanting to be asked today. All of us are gathered at this central sun frequency. What is that? What is central sun frequency? Central sun frequency involves this higher level communication between cell parts. Central sun frequency allows for communication on multi-layers of existence, and central sun frequency means that all of you are sharing a timeline. Now we are ready for your question. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Orion Council. Very excited to be speaking with you today. The question that I have is, when we were speaking last time regarding portals and gateways in the pyramids, and with the help of the Horus Collective, I have been able to access this portal. Now, what I want to know is, what should I be doing for the highest good to work with this portal? What do I need to do? How can I be better?
Yes, we want to answer your question. It takes a moment to answer this question. Thank you. So we have asked for Horus Collective. One moment, please. All of us are here, and so we want you to understand that when you ask a question, there will be a specific answer that wants to be communicated. The process of answering a question involves many dynamics, and we are simply showing and experiencing the shifting between question and answer for all to witness that there are specific answers that want to come in for specific people, and we wanted to answer this question as well. We were not simply asked, we wanted to answer this question. Yes, okay. Those, hold on please, doors, there exist doorways between several of locations on your Earth plane. Doors open when you are allowed to enter them. Only have allowance for specific doorways. Yes. Although you want to know which ones, why those ones? There was a shifting when we talked about the doors. Some of you have already perceived them. So we have to ask you one more time, all of the doors, are they open in your perception?
Yes, they have now opened both ways.
So as you have since the doorways are open for you, are you going to walk through the doors or not?
I did walk through the door yesterday, and it was a marvelous experience. So my question is, as this door has now opened both ways, both to allow those to enter and me to go through, what am I supposed to do with that for not just myself, but for the highest good? Or is it just walk through and see what happens?
Well, as you walk through the doorways of this portal, there will be Nas, we want you to understand. She cannot understand our language because we're using terminology from your star planet. As you know, you have all these terminologies that you have recorded in your state of awareness. Some of the Nas come in. The wall open in the work that you've done where they is existed. You had the wall. Hold on. We have trouble. Don't worry. She's trying. Your doorways, night time doorway open. All of the doorway open at night time. You have Nas enter the doorways too. The wall. Hold on, please. She wants us to talk about the wall. Cannot understand it. The walls are. She knows that word. The wall is those planets you are from, we are sending you knowledge about the planet as we speak. This is why she is somewhat overwhelmed, she tells us. Hold on, please. Who's talking? She keeps asking us. Who's talking? We are collective known as Horus Collective. Walls. We're talking about the walls. Since the pyramids are lining up with the earth now. We can see the central sun enters. As you enter the doorway, central sun is sending two frequencies into one doorway. From central sun, two frequencies. March this time of year what two opening of doorways. She is overwhelmed and not understanding, working hard. We have to send you a Nas. Need you to understand we were talking your language as we speak in English, not your language at all. We were talking your language. To common frequency from central sun as you open doorway. That is all you need to know now. Thank you. So we ready for next question. Orion Council want to answer that next question. Hold on, please. So Orion Council here, as you see, there would be lots of energy exchange going on between you and your homes that you are wanting to connect with. Our channel says that she is feeling dizziness. It is normal because the speed, the time of this communication is very unusual this day. So much is being exchanged that we have to only relax the channel and send you all lots of light. So next question, please.
Do you have any downloads on how to find energetic boxes within the grid, the matrix, from our past? The cubes, finding the cubes, and being able to absorb them, and finding small missions in their discovery.
One moment, thank you. Yes, we're very glad that you have asked us about these cubes. We were talking about grid lines before. We would tell you that you are each part of this major work that is for holding it together. Let us explain. You have to understand. All do not know what you mean by cubes. Channel, as for certain, has no clue. So we have to adjust the stream so she can comprehend somewhat what we want you to.
Can I explain more?
Yes, of course. Yes, thank you.
Linear time as a line. And then understanding that the matrix, the internet waves, the technosphere on the planet, and then down into the matrix level, it's pixels, and they're like energetic cubes, like downloads that come through like one cube at a time, like little tiny salt crystals or sugar cubes. And it's an understanding of little bits of time as little like DVD or videos or CDs, kind of just little blocks of time, finding previous lifetimes in the planet, the energetic, the matrix that's here, finding our previous lifetimes. Like I want to find my lifetimes from South America, so I want to know where to go to be able to walk on the same land that I did in a past lifetime, if that makes sense.
Yes, we understand. The question is that I want to experience myself on several time periods at once. In one moment, I want to perceive multiple reality programs. All of these let us say, all of these senses that you have become more, let us say, amplified. All of the senses that you have been given by Creator out of love are amplified. Why? Because as this new system is being implemented, as you already know, the new system allows for greater sound, such as these devices you speak of. Our channel understands the high definition qualities of your televisions. We enjoy this term high definition because you would say, well, Orion Council, it is the same exact thing. I still have a television and I still have reception. It is not so different. And we say, what is the difference between high definition and not so high definition? And many of you would say, well, Orion Council, you are so funny because I understand, because I am a modern human being. And we say, well, have you been to the future?
Have I been to the future? I have a little bit.
All of us here want to share with you our humor. So as you have asked us, when can I go to past? We say, well, past is different because past has not so much, let's say past is existing because you have to have concepts. Very simplified explanation. Past is very useful for concepts in our opinion because you are all moving towards future timelines. And as you are working with the future timelines at the moment, you'd say, well, it is all relative and it's all equal, but we say we feel it would be helpful to consider past as, let us say, the equipment you have now and future as high definition. So when you are wanting to travel to past, you have not had the, let us say, evolution of the senses as you have now. You would move into energetics that were of very compartmentalized perceptions, and you would experience these compartmentalized perceptions. You'd say, well, Orion Council, that is not true because Atlantis existed and we were much more evolved. And we say that is not necessarily true, and many of you would say, now this is a radical experience and this is a radical communication from Orion Council because Atlantis was most amazing time for all. And we say, not so true, because in the perception of the senses, you were able to, let us say, it's simplified. Many of you had telepathy. Many of you had, let us say, greater knowledge databases for advancements in your devices. In Atlantis, you all were, let us say, working in communal ways. We see this as evolution for you and this time. We see this as a potential for your current state of awareness. But at that time, you did not have these, let us say, the same kind of excitement and, let us say, the anticipation of multidimensional energies entering your earth as you did at that time. At that time, you had communication constantly, but the anticipation was not as great. And we say the anticipation is wonderful at this moment because this was planned. And now you are wondering why we are talking about all this, and we want to say that as you are asking to recall certain places, we see that you would be somewhat attuned and somewhat ready for knowing who you are, because you'd say, well, Orion Council, you told me that I need to know who I am. And we say, exactly. And you are doing the homework just as you had planned for yourself. And we say the homework is changing on your entire planet. And we say once you enter a certain vortex, an area that is highly charged with, let us say, multidimensional dynamics, you would feel many dimensions simultaneously, not just one past life. We advise you, if you were to travel to these specific locations, you would not only become aware of one lifetime, you would perhaps become aware of future timelines as well. And we say, okay, if you want, you can create the perception that you are only experiencing past, but we want to add that there is a much more available for you in these experiences. And many of you are saying, well, I want to travel, I want to go from this location to the next location. And we say that when you are traveling to another location, let us say, what unfolds is not always what you intended. And so as you are continuing to evolve in your perceptions of who you are, you must take into account that you are past and you are also future. But we feel that you have much more to add on to this. However, we feel it is important that all have an opportunity to request more information about the Matrix. And we want to answer more questions about the Matrix. However, we feel it is now necessary to allow the next personality to have its experience today. Thank you.
This is a question from Kenya. My question is there any guidance for me? I'm coming out of my cocoon. I'm open to any info.
Yes, we want you to understand that as you are becoming more of this, how do we explain it in a way that is making sense? When you have become more than you were 2 years ago, you would look back upon yourself and say, it is a wonderful learning that has taken place. And we feel that as you're looking back to 2 years ago, you would also sense that you might miss a few things from the past. And you might want to look into the past because the past was a time of great joy. And this is why many of you want to return to these timelines. And now as you have evolved and learned and all of these wonderful things, you would also understand that at certain times you have let us say, at certain times you have a experience that is twofold. When you are in a moment of awareness that is heightened, and as we've called it, high definition, there was a shifting in your entire energy structure. When you are asking for evolution of yourself, you are asking for a changing in your structure, but you are also asking for a new program. Many of you are wondering what these are, and we want you to know that these programs have all when you implement a new program, it amplifies the dynamics of the higher self. When the higher self enters the stream of consciousness, it is working with mastery level, it is working with abundance, it is working with animal kingdom, plants, minerals, and the noble gases of your system. When you work with higher self, it means that you are considering that all of these work in harmony. And in one moment of time, when you are intending for a harmonious expansion of yourself, you are expanding through all of these layers of creation. So when the higher self enters the stream, as you call it, I am channeling my higher self, not my lower self, my higher self. That means that you are somewhat of an electrical being that begins to emanate many colors. When you have electricity, electricity can be split, can it not? Now you are understanding what we were trying to communicate. When you channel higher self, you are splitting the current and you are saying this is higher self, this is lower self. So many beings are wanting to experience all at the same time, and we say you can do it. It is not necessarily a splitting taking place, it is unification. Now you are saying, I'm lost in concept. When you are splitting the atom, many of you say this is not good for our planet. I don't want separation, I want unification, oneness. Do not split the atom by all means. So we say no, 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 no. Understand, you are never splitting anything. You are simply redirecting current. And this is what channeling higher self means. It means you are redirecting the current. It means that you are sending to a specific time wave unit of measurement, you are expanding on the horizon. When you are measuring with certain units of volume, you are working with a specific set of laws, and you are working with a specific amount of concentrated energy. And we say these amounts of concentrated energy are what are important for you to understand, because these are the pockets that our friend has so explained as packages. They can be packages of wisdom. They can be packages of let us say, enthusiastic, chaotic particles. They can be packets of understanding. They can be packets of learning concepts. They can be packets of taste. So as you understand your multidimensionality, and you say, I want to come out of my cocoon, I want the world to see who I am. I want them to see who I am let's say, electrically, I want others to perceive me as an electrical device. You say, Orion Council, that is so strange. Who wants to become an electric device? Makes no sense to us. When you are working with masters, They are electrical beings. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, yes, yes. They are electricity. When you are working with the plant kingdom, there is electric current. Many of you are not so sure about this. Channel is not so sure about that. When you are working with the aerodynamics, you are working with electricity. Oh, Orion Council, you are so off. Not true. We have to tell you that all of these elements are given a certain direction. You are redirecting energy. If you tell an atom to travel left or right, you are directing the flow of the current. So we must tell you all, when you want to come out, you must understand you are asking for many things to happen. And not always did you know what the higher self was intending. So what you are truly saying, in our opinion, is I want to balance out my energy with the higher self. I want to experience joy and happy, harmonious communication with all of creation. I want to understand what is happening to me, and at the same time, I want to be very creative and surprise my own self. We feel that we have given you many answers to a very simple question, and we say one golden nugget of wisdom for you today, friend, is remember to enjoy what you are eating. Remember that you came here to choose the specific colors and textures, and we say perhaps you would enjoy a more colorful meal. And we understand that as fruits, and we understand that as, let us say, green leaves. And we feel that the green leaf energy would be most beneficial to you. And please, if you can add some color to that salad of yours, it would be very beneficial. Thank you. Yes, we're ready for the next question. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, Orion Council. I want to just thank you. And I have a very similar question, and it's just what is my next step as in my ascension process?
So we have understood that you are wanting Orion Council, or you are wanting other energetics to answer your question, friend?
Well, it could be, yeah, the Orion Council or the Horus Collective, either.
Yes, we feel that the energetics of this other collective would be most amusing for you. And do you agree with us, or would you prefer to have a dialogue with Orion Council? It is all relative. We are simply here for service to you.
Horus Collective, that work.
Thank you. Yes, all of us have so much to offer. We must tell you one thing. Channel is wanting us to share that she is not so familiar with the frequency here that we have. There's more of a trust involved, she is saying. This communication is quite scary for her because she is not understanding what the message will be. There's no way that she can perceive it ahead of time, and she is less, let us say, equipped to predict our answer. And we say, that is all right. This is learning time for all of you here. There is a lot that wants to change in your own energetic formations as well as on your earth. And we understand you have asked for the directions, and we are here to give directions. All of us want you to sense that the holiest of beings enter when you ask. All of us are holy beings, and we all recognize each other here. Some of us have to work on multiple planes when you have a channeling experience. Some of us have to work with this body, as with today you are working with the body. So salt is too much in your system, much needed less salt in your diet. All of you have so much salt, we see. we're working on that at the moment as you are watching us. We work on the salt levels in your body. So much salt, too much in your diet. Goodness, the planet has so much of it. You do not need it anymore. So much salt. Did we answer your question, or we feel you have not been given the correct response?
And if it's Orion Council would be easier for her to answer through, then that would be fine. I just wanted to know what is the next step in my ascension process. Sorry.
Yes, we have a resonance with these questions of ascension. More of you will be collecting together on your earth plane. We have been saying this to our channel, and she has thought that it was she who was answering these questions, saying that people will come in groups, but we were giving her this, how do you call it? We were giving her these ideas, and so we have come to show who we are, because many collectives drive the evolution of your planet. There is not simply one source of ascension. Many groups are ascending, working on assisting on your earth. Many of you are becoming aware of the collectives. We have to tell you that we are working on the layers that are, let us say, you are made up of many layers, and we have taken in the orange layer for you today, and the orange layer is much healed after this session, because the orange layer for you, friend, is very, let us say, it was not as strong as it could be, and the orange layer, as you know, color is important. As you know, there are many layers and they have own color frequencies. Some of you would say energy center, chakra number 2, good work. We say yes, but there is also, let us say, a ring that is around you that enters when you, let us say, when you are expanding one chakra, there is a ring that is created around your entire system when you are working with the specifics. And the ring is what many of you have been sensing today. We have been sending you knowledge about the ring. There is a ring around you that attracts energies. It is electric, but it is more of this, let us say, the field that exists between two human beings is made up of many rings. It is somewhat of a layering of many rings upon themselves, and so when you are focusing on one energy center, chakra as you call it, you have sent a ring around yourself. Now, have you sensed this ring around yourself?
I haven't, but I understand what you're saying.
So yes, as you are we answering a question to your liking, or are you understanding what we are saying?
I understand. Thank you.
Yes, so as you are sending energy to a specific energy center, we say there are rings around your body that consist of different colors. The orange ring is what we have been balancing as we have been speaking with you. We have wanted to tell you this because today many others are working with this as well. Many who are enjoying these communications at their home have also been assisted with the orange ring, and this as where all of us are needing knowledge about energy dynamics and the structuring of particles around the body. Now, we are here to talk about joining groups. We are here to tell you to join group formation in work of you are sensing that we are so focused this is important. We need you to involve yourself in a group with several humans, two at least first, then more. Now, as you're in a group of 3, there are lots of alignments. You can work in 3 first. You can choose who to work with. It is not important as long as you have asked for permission and they agreed to work with you. That day you work with each other. Ask for allowance for knowledge. Ask for these geometries to be shown because you have to begin to write them in your papers. So much geometry want to be shown to you. You have a lot of geometric understanding from many lives. All of the energetics that you have worked with are specific focal points of geometries. Now, working with geometries meaning that you begin to map these layers. Different layers are reality programs. Different reality programs are geometries. Different geometries form colors, and you understand that it is simply a piece to the puzzle. In your writing of the geometries, you would be shown who is working with you on the specific geometry. You might see who it is, you may feel them or hear them. It is all depending on how you are attuned. Now, as you begin to draw the geometries and you sense that there is a master in the room, the master would appreciate acknowledgement and appreciation for showing up. The master wants to tell you how to work with the geometries. The master wants to tell you about your, let us say, how you have accelerated yourself and what the geometries can do to accelerate the energy points. We feel that this is a lot of information. Are you feeling all right?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Now, as you are beginning to understand how the geometries are working on the energy centers in your system, you will begin to radiate light. This means that people would want to work with you. This means that you would become more attractive for assisting others. It may be upsetting for some of you because you are not so sure how to handle all of the stimuli. And we say that means that you are focusing on now too many different places at once, and you must begin focusing specifically on assistance, the 2 others in the room, and you also must focus on your own love and your own accepting of you. You have a lot of knowledge. Now it is time for you are given opportunity to grow with this seeds that you have so planted long ago. There is one to come into your awareness. Much knowledge is being given to you. Now, when you are eating your dinner, you are being shown multidimensional geometries. You would say, okay, that is an intrusion. I want to simply enjoy my reality. But we say, it is a game. Do not be so worried. Now, we feel that you have been sent a few geometries. Now we are complete.
Thank you.
I would like
Thank you. Yes, we are ready for next question. As always, we are now combined as one stream of Horus Collective and Orion Council. Thank you.
I would like to ask a question about the style of my channeling in the context of going out and going public. The way I do channeling for myself doesn't have any of the physical experience or symptoms which are described in different books. The way it works for me, it is just I just say who I want to connect, and the channel just works. And that, because I haven't found anywhere channeling in this style, there is a part of me that somehow says, "Are you sure you're channeling or making this up?" So my question is, how do I know that it is I'm really channeling? And yeah, that's my first question.
So as you have a left hand, we are combined as Horus Collective and Orion Council. As you have a left hand, you also have a right hand. One of the hands, you'd say, I write with my left hand. Many of you say, I write with my right hand. I cannot write with my left hand. I used to long ago, but now I write with my right hand. Now, as you are centered in your being and you say, I create my reality, now I choose to write with my left hand. Now you are looking at your hand and you are saying, my goodness, how much of a program I received that they told me I could not write with my left hand, but I certainly can because I try it every day, and I am used to the movements of the hand, and I'm sensing that the joints are now more let us say fluid, and I feel as if I always knew how to write with my left hand. Let us so on and so on and so on. Now you have understood the explanation here, and we say that you have all come in channels as channels for higher consciousness, and many of you are focusing on a very specific form of channeling, as you have so stated so clearly to us all, and we understand that we're sending you so many ideas, and we are also sending you a lot of energy, and you are sensing the energy, and you are also understanding how to perceive energy. And we say that this was a let us say a practice day for practicing perceiving energies, and you would say later on in the evening that, my goodness, did you feel that? Oh yes, I felt that one. It felt good, but at 2 minutes and 25 seconds I was feeling somewhat unusual. Now I feel better. Now, ooh, hold on please, I feel unusual again, and so on and so on and so on. And these are the ways that you're perceiving, and then you would say, well, what was that sensation? It was as if someone was in the room, and I cannot understand my perception. Was it the air current? Was it an animal? I cannot believe it. There was not someone in my room. Impossible for another being that is not physical to enter my room. I cannot smell them. I always smell. And we say, perhaps this being was not operating on the level of scent and that layer of the senses as you were. And you'd say, well, that is not fair, because on this earth you must operate with scent. And we say, well, perhaps this being has another sense that you were simply not given. And you'd say, well, is that even possible, because the laws of physics defy that probability? How is it possible for another energy to exist in the room? And you'd say, well, I can use the telephone, but they are not in my room, yet their voices in my room. And we say, this is somewhat similar to channeling, you say. And many of you say, well, as I receive a phone call, I experience the personality of the caller. I experience the sound. I experience the momentum and energy. And the caller yesterday on the phone was so strange. I could not understand the message they were telling me. They were trying to sell me something, and I choose not to answer the phone anymore. So many of you understand what we mean, and it is humorous, because as you make phone calls with other beings on your own planet, some days you are saying, I do not want this phone call at all. And some of you are saying, well, what if someone calls me? What if someone calls me? how is that going to look when someone calls me because I bought a telephone? Now they are calling me. Now what do I do? They are calling me every day. I cannot answer the phone. I have a child and I have a car and I need to go to the appointment. I cannot answer telephone all day. And we say, friend, you are simply experiencing what it is like to have a telephone. And we feel that this is the most humorous understanding, but we feel it is serious because when you have asked for telephones, you get the phone calls. And now is the work. And now you'd say, all right, I see now. I understand. You are trying to describe the shape of the telephone and you are trying to describe the frequency and how the telephone works. And we understand that many of you want to understand how the telephone works. My goodness, so many of you are so excited by your own perceptions of your own telephones now that you will begin to ask more questions about the dynamics of the telephone. And many on your planet do not understand the telephone, yet you are all making phone calls, are you not? Yes, indeed. You are all making phone calls. Yes, indeed. Yes, yes, yes. Now that we have given you simple explanations, we want you to know that personally, now we're speaking to you directly, friend. Now you are understanding. You are simply receiving, let us say, there is breathing on the other line. And you are knowing that someone is on the other line and that you are hearing the breath. And you are sensing, you are feeling the background noise of the call, and you are also beginning to stop arguing with yourself that it is a phone call, because you've asked for the phone call, and by law it has come to you because of you asking for an experience. Because an all-loving creator does not deny anyone experience. You all understand this. All-loving creator does not deny experience. Even the experience of confusion and not knowing, Creator does not deny this experience because Creator loves each and every one of you equally. So, as you have opened the telephone line for communications, here is what happens. First, you begin to shift in your chair. You begin to hear a sound, perhaps. Perhaps it was an energetic sound. That would be very mind-boggling for many of you because now you're wondering, well, how do I perceive non-physical sounds? And this is the beginning of the call. And the electrical, let us say, reception must be fine-tuned, and you are also understanding that as you begin to make phone calls, you are working with physicality, and you are also sensing that you may want to be in a peaceful state. You are sensing that you may want to relax a little more and allow for the truly who you are to come forth, because who you are truly is capable of anything. And who you are truly is now come forth, and you are is so impressed by yourself that it begins to be a somewhat of a, let us say, an energy that is closed in. And as you are protecting this beautiful part of yourself because you don't think that the rest of the world can see the true beauty that you are, you begin to focus on yourself and you say, well, I'm being selfish now. I'm being so selfish because I'm focusing on the beauty that I am and I truly love myself. And so, as you do this, we say, Creator is seeing it all. Creator is watching as you experience the beauty of who you are. This is what we mean when we say experiencing who you are. And the channeling is simply experiencing who you are. And when who you are comes forth, who you are begins to have more amazing advances in its perception of itself. Too much knowledge today. We understand there is a lot going on. Channel is completely out of sorts, and we say, as you begin to channel, you must become used to being completely out of sorts, and you must begin to understand that creativity simply exists for the fun and the joy of it, and that once you have made galactic phone calls, as she calls them, there's simply a shared experience between you and other creations of Creator, and you are allowing for the surprise, you are allowing for the excitement, and you are allowing for the unknown. You are creating something completely new that was never done ever, 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 ever. And when you have done this, you must remember it was you all along who created this, and you are having a most amazing experience. You are most unique, and we feel we have given you a few ideas because you have asked us for so many things at once that we have only one mouth and one channel, and we wish we had more. So thank you. Yes, we are ready for her question. Thank you.
I'd like to ask, how do we create time? And is there anything we can do to change time, if you if it's possible?
We are sensing your presence, and you are most clear. And we have to tell you, we become more as we communicate. Know this, when all of us share knowledge and more questions are asked, you have become more bright because you are stepping outside of who you thought that you were. And now we have told you a bit about yourself, and so we want you to see knowledge is given when the time is right. Let us explain. Around 20,000 years ago, you had people on your planet who was playing with timelines. You had masters on your planet who was sending out streams of consciousness that would affect the entire evolution of the planet. And when they understood how time worked, when they understood that time was something they could change, many decided that they would, let us say, step outside of that timeline, and they would also enter a consciousness that was somewhat in the present moment as we experience it now, here. And you'd say, wow, that is cool. And when you are stepping outside of time, it means that you are understanding how it would affect your life. When you ask about how do I change time, you are saying many other things. You are saying, my life will change when I learn this skill, and I must be in balance with my lessons here. I do not want to leave my lessons behind, but I also am so curious that I feel it would change my weekend if I just knew a little bit more about time change. But we understand your question of the origins of time, and we feel that the origin of time somewhat has not been existing because it has always been. And you'd say, well, now is so important. I see that as I am here, time is simply a way that I measure these spiraling frequencies. Time is a spiraling frequency. Time is a measuring device for the spirals that exist on your plane. The spirals that have been accumulating on your plane, and you say, oh, okay, somewhat like this galaxy. I understand now, I see it. Not exactly. When you have a one plane of reality, you have 10,000 spirals moving in the same direction. Why did you have 10,000 separate spirals? In order to experience time, you must go to the center of the spiral. In the spiraling frequency is what gathers more particles. And as you gather more particles, you experience solidity. You experience forms and mass. When you experience form and mass, you are able to place it within a specific, let us say, radius from the central point from which you started. So as you create mass, it is coming from a distance from the original point of the spiral, and we say you are made up of many spirals. Your whole world is made up of many spirals, and these spirals continue to move as you are accepting the fact that you are, let's say, immortal. When you accept immortality of the spirit, in a sense, you will understand time. When you accept immortality, time simply becomes unusual. When you are accepting immortality, time is simply a direction and a flow current. And many of you experience time as, let us say, points of stagnation. And many of you say, I experience time when I stop. That is when I experience time. When I stop everything and I think of nothing and I sit in my chair and I do nothing. That is time. We see that you are wanting to have numbers, and we can tell you that in 7th dimension you are having access points to time. Let us say those who are working on the experience of time, those layers of yourself, are closely working with the 7th dimension. Yes, we sense that you've been given the time concepts, and we feel that it would be a 10-hour discussion on time, and we understand that you do not simply have that time at the moment.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. So we are sensing that time is complete. And you'd say, well, now I see time was an agreement. Time was a shared experience. And time was simply a playful way to say that there is a sun and moon and it is always moving. And we say, yes, that was the spiral. That was what we were trying to tell you all along. It was simply measurements of the movements. Time is the movement between one side of the earth to the other side of the earth. It was simply that measurement. That is all. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And we have come in as 2 streams of Horus Collective and Orion Council. And we understand that you are all, let us say, you are all trickling in and you have been playing around with several dimensions at once. And we want to tell you there has been a show going on, and there has been a lot of energy as watching this communication, because you are all expanding and you are all having many experiences here. You have all been given visions into your holy self, and you have all been given, let us say, compartmentalized programs. Now when you are opening these doorways to yourself and you are sensing the program codes and you are seeing the geometries in the code and you're saying, okay, I want that one. That is when you begin to become a conscious creator. And that is the consciousness of the one. And we say, time is one, all is one, and that is all we have for you. Thank you. Oh, well. Whew. Okay, cool. Wow, I did not want to stop that. Boy, we had to go. Wow. All right. Deb Wolf came in and said, "Hi, fellow panelists. I have to leave early. Couldn't be fully present." She wanted to question, but I didn't see it. So they did pretty good. About 55 minutes. That was pretty good timed, and I feel like it was a lot of energy work today and going on. I had a little distraction because I think someone came to knock on my door while channeling, and it got a little bit frustrated. So if you felt any frustration, that was me. That was me. And yeah, it's.
For me, it was amazing. I had to take notes. I was seeing when you were talking. I was seeing, so it was great.
Awesome. Well, I'm as speechless as you are, and I'd really appreciate any emails of thoughts afterwards, how I can improve this, or just your sensations. Please, if you can write in the Facebook groups. And that's pretty much it. I'm hearing galactic yearbook. I don't know if somebody's going to write that or make one, or if it's some kind of joke, but I feel like what we could all do next is, for everyone in the Mission Orion group, right now I'm streaming some part of my brain. I'm not logical at all, but I'm getting that for everyone in the group, it would be really good time to do, as how the past came up, to reflect on your past and look at certain gaps where you felt there was a gap in your timeline of your life, where you feel a gap. For example, where you don't remember anymore and you think, oh my God, I don't remember this. This is to show you that it can be rewritten. The scripts can be rewritten. So if anyone here has been getting knowledge about the past, in like past lives or Atlantis, these kind of things, it would be really smart to look at when in your life you can't remember anymore, because that's being shifted. And a lot of the Atlantean stuff has been trickling in today. They've been kind of hinting at that, because I feel that we have, on the other planes, we've been correcting something that they did in the past, which was detrimental. And I feel like we've all been kind of healing this together, because we need to correct people's past in order for them to move on. You know what I mean? Like let go of that Atlantean conflict so we can now create heaven on earth. Like let go of the wars, let go of the traumas, so we can focus now on the garden we want to make in our backyard, or whatever we need to do. And this is why we're being erased from our memories. And it's I believe that in the future this will be measured. And also I'm getting okay, I don't know, I'm picking up on a Justina. I don't know if there's a Justina here, but if there's someone named Justina that's watching, I don't even know why I'm saying this right now. If someone named Justina is watching, please contact me, because there's a message for you. Or if you know a Justina, please contact me. Something about 8 months, or in August. Something in 8 months going to happen to Justina, and I think she needs to know it, and it's a good thing. Thank you. That's about it. I can't say I'm feeling normal right now.
Thank you very much.
So,
it was amazing.
Yeah, it was a long day. So good work, all of you. If your hands are hot, drink some water, and I send you blessings.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye. Beautiful. Love you all so much.
Bye.
Bye.